Okay, today is the 23rd of September 2024. We have about 15 minutes before the New York Open, and let's get straight to the charts. All right, just give me a second. Okay. All right, let's just go to the weekly. All right, so we don't have weekly resistance yet, but if you go down to the daily, we do have some sort of a level here, some sort of level here, which is on 2582. So let's just mark that 2582. Okay, we have a level there, we have resistance around 2600. There was daily resistance there and price broke above it. So on the day, we have a level there. Okay, so I'm going to mark that, leave that for now. Okay, 2582, 2582. Okay, so this is our trading chart. So let's go to the H4, let's clean up the chart, and let's start drawing our zones. Okay, so let's get rid of all of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of all of that. Okay, right. Okay, so on the H4, we have supply here. You have supply right there, because that is a resistance area. There's a rally and a drop. So if you go down to the H1, you'll see that there is a base there. Okay, there is a base there. So let's just get that base in there. That's a rally. I'll take that as the base. Yeah. Okay, roughly, let's just mark them roughly for now. There is demand here, which we did trade from on Friday, and price moved up. There is also demand there. The price has broken through, but is broken through it, but it's not closed below it. So we're going to mark that there very roughly for now. Okay, that's about 170 pips away, and then let's put this one here, which is roughly about there. Okay, right, so roughly this is what we see. We are at all-time highs as usual. We are around all-time highs around 6 to 630. Yeah, we have a zone there, and we have a demand zone here. Let me just go to the H1, see what that looks like. Okay, let's clean up our zones now. 3138, open 3011, 3138, 3011. Okay, that's one. This one, price did break through it, so the next time it comes, it's going to break right through it. But we're going to keep it there because an H4 candle didn't close below it. So let's leave that there at 2031, 2031, 610, 2031, 6.1. Okay, and this one, 668 270 68. Okay, this one 9065 482 65 482. Okay, now out of these we're going to mark a high liquidity zone. So that's an H4 zone. That's H4. That's H4. That too is an H4. So we're going to mark which ones are the high liquidity zones here. Now this, just go down to the 15-minute. So push down there. That happened in London session. Yep. Price, yeah, I did push down there. Yeah, so this here, this supply took out this demand on the way down. Okay, so I think we're going to mark it down there. Okay, and the open 859. So there was H4 supply here, or H4 resistance, or H4 supply that took out this H4 demand, right? Pushed down, took this out. So that H4 supply, so that's H4 supply right there, and that's a high liquidity zone. Um, okay, so that becomes a high liquidity zone because that took out that demand there. Okay, so if price gets up there, I'll be watching how the M15 candle close to see if I can take a sell there. Okay, that's about 50-60 pips away from now, 55 pips away from now. Here, this didn't take out anything. So if you go down to the H1, this didn't take out anything. That's not a high liquidity zone. This one here took out this, right? So even if you go to the H1, there was H4 highs there that this zone took out. Okay, sorry. Yeah, this one here. This is a high liquidity zone because this took out that resistance there and that high there. Here we have a H4 demand here. Let's just look at it on the H1 and see what it looks like. Yeah, so we did take out these highs. This move took out this H1 supply or H1 resistance, right? So we're going to mark that also as a high liquidity zone, right? Okay. Okay, that's what we've got for the New York session. These are my areas of interest. The one there, the one here, the one here for the New York session. I don't think price is going to come all the way down here, which is a long push away. I don't think that's going to happen. But maybe here, right? Those are my extremes. This is where I'm going to be looking for trades. Somewhere up here and somewhere down here. Now, if I look at the M30, yeah, price could come to around 2600 area again. It could. Or maybe we just push up here and then we pull down and then we push down. Let's see. Okay. On the daily, do we have new daily SR? No, we don't. Right? So this is the last daily SR level that we have. We have one here, and there is one at 2582. Just yeah, there is one at 2582. That's also we mark this one also there 2582. That seems like a weekly key level. Okay, so we have no daily SR anywhere up here. So yeah, in this 400 pip range, there is nothing. Um, okay, so the daily closed above 2600. Okay, right. So if you're using the indicator, the indicator shown here, and which is you find a link on it below the video. Um, if you were using this indicator and you were using the buy sell signals of this indicator, then this is what you would be looking to do for today, right? So the previous weekly and daily both closed above 2600, okay, with 2615 sites. So we are very close to 2650, okay. We're about 220 pips away from, about 250 pips away from 2650. So that's very possible either today, even today, or maybe even tomorrow, right? But we have created H4 supply, so we just have to keep that in mind. That price, when it gets here, it hasn't tested this yet, right? So when it tests this, there is going to be some sort of a reaction because this is newly created, freshly created H4 supply. There is going to be some sort of a reaction there. We don't know how much of a reaction, whether it's going to be a 20 pip, 50 pip, or a 200 pip reaction. We don't know that yet, right? So let's look at how the M15 candles close when they get there to see what kind of reaction we get. Now, again, if you're trading the buy or sell signals of the indicator, that's an area that you can look to take an M15 or M30 sell signal from, okay, from that red box there. Um, there are no daily SR above or below current price due to price still at all-time highs. So we're still at all-time highs. So there are no more daily SR. So as I said, as I showed you, this is the closest daily SR line we have. We have one here and one here. So that's about 420, 15 pips away. So price is not going to come there today. Unlikely that price in the next 2 hours or 2.5 hours, the price will make a 450 pip drop because there is no news today. Okay. Um, so let's just go back here. Okay, so for buys, ideally, I'm looking for buys, ideally, right? I would like to see buys below here. This zone here has already been broken. This is not a high liquidity zone anymore. The zone has been broken. Price has closed above it. The H4 candle has closed above it. So I'm not considering this H4 demand zone as an area to take a buy trade from. To me, this is in the middle of this range. This is the range that I'm looking at. There's about a 200 pip range here. I'm not looking to take a trade inside the 200 pip range. I'm looking at the extremes, either here or here. These are the two areas I'm looking to take a trade today. If price gets there, if price gets there today, here or here, I'll look at the M15 time frame to see if you have an opportunity to take a trade. Okay. Um, so for buys, okay, so now again, if you're trading the buy signal, if you're trading the signals of the indicator, the other opportunities, so you can take you can wait for a buy signal from here, M15 or M30 buy signal, or you wait for price to pull back, create M30 support, right? M30 support. With that support, give you a buy M15 or M30 buy sell a buy signal, M15 or M30 buy signal, to go up and retest these London highs. This is the London high, okay? To go and retest these highs. For sells, you can either look for M15 or M30 sell signal from here, or wait for price to come down, create a new low, pull back up, create M30 resistance. With that resistance, look for a M15 or M30 sell signal to come down and retest that new low, the New York low, right? We still haven't created that new low. So we got to wait for price to come down, create a new low. If it does, create a new low, then pull back, create M30 resistance. The resistance has to be on M30 and no other time frame, right? That's the time frame that I consider as a confirmation time frame, So it's got to be on the M30 resistance, and then M15 or M30 sell signal to retest the newly created low. Okay, so that's the plan. If you are trading the buy or sell signals of the indicator, that's the plan. Okay. Now, so New York's just opened about 5 minutes ago. New York opened. Um, now we're gonna wait for price to get to our areas of interest. Okay, so I've got a high liquidity zone marked there. I've got a high liquidity zone marked there. I've got a high liquidity zone marked there, and I'll go over these again now. Um, so price created resistance here, H4 resistance. You had a bullish candle and then a bearish candle after that. The top of that is H4 resistance, okay, the way I've marked it. That's also H4 supply, right? Now, if you go to the down to the H1 time frame, you'll see a rally, two basing candles, and a drop. Okay, so that is H4 supply, and price is now getting close to that. We're about 35, 40 pips away from that. We could come kind of deep into this zone. Okay. Um, Keep in mind today is Monday. There is no news today. Is there news today? Okay, there is news today. Let's look at the week. So that's the week. So today we have some news in about 1.5 hours from now, right? We got some news. 15 minutes before the H4 candle closes, we got some news. Tomorrow we got news. Wednesday we don't have news. Thursday we've got some news, and on Friday we've got some news. But these are not major news events, so there's nothing too much to be worried about them. I consider these as normal trading days. It's a normal trading week. There's nothing significantly important except for uh, unemployment claims maybe on Thursday, right? These are not that important, even though they're red folders, they're not very important. The important news events that I consider are NFP, CPI, PPI, retail sales, the interest rate decision, and the FOMC meeting minutes soon after the interest rate decision, right? Those are the major ones. Apart from that, these are also important, but not very important. Okay, so we're going to just keep an eye on around an hour and a half from now, I think. Yeah, an hour and a half from now, we have some news. We're going to just keep that in mind. That's a long time from now, so we have plenty of time for that. So price is currently around 40 pips away from this area of interest for us, for me. So the reason I mark this as a high liquidity zone, so not only hasn't price come here yet, it created this H4 resistance, H4 supply, and dropped straight down, and price hasn't visited it, uh, since then. So it's a fresh zone, right? It's a fresh zone, and also the second reason is this supply zone took out this demand zone. This supply zone took out this demand zone. So it's a you got a rally, two basing candles, two same color candles dropping from that, which is good to see, right? So it's clean supply. So I'm going to watch that area. I'm not going to jump into a trade soon as price gets there. I'm going to watch that area to see how the M15 candles close, to see if I have a trading opportunity there, right? That's what I do every day, right? I watch that area of interest on the M15 time frame to see if you have a trading opportunity there. Now, let's go to demand again. So we had demand here. Price wicked through that, right? But respected it. Wicked through it, but respected it. So we have to draw it. If this candle had closed below, I wouldn't consider this. But price wicked through it and closed above it. So we got to mark that as a demand zone, right? Now, because price wicked through it already once, has gone right through it, broke through it, I'm not going to mark it as a high liquidity zone, right? To me, whatever orders were there were consumed by this wick, and so I no longer consider that a high liquidity zone. So very likely when on the way down, price is going to fill that wick and continue to this area, right? So if you go down to the H1 time frame, this was some sort of a high liquidity zone area because this demand had taken out this supply to the left, and that is why price wicked through it and couldn't close below it. It's pushing up, right? But this thing happened in the London session. So if you go down to the M15 and see if you have a liquidity wick, kind of a liquidity wick, but not really. Nope, nope, no. I don't see. I don't see a liquidity wick, any clean liquidity wick. I don't see that. Um, yeah, but that is in the London session. This would have been a area. If I were trading London session, I would have marked this as high liquidity zone for the reasons I just said, right? Um, we had H4 highs there and H4 high there that was taken out by this demand zone. If you go down to the H1, you have clear demand, drop, basing candle, and rally, and you have a supply there, rally, base, drop, right? That was taken out by this push up. So this, if I was trading the London session, I would mark it this as a high liquidity zone, and I would have looked to take a trade there, and there was a trade there. So that would have been the trade, right? But price didn't come to the sniper area. It just fell short of it and did push up, okay, about 100 pips. So yeah, that. So let's. So I'm not considering this a high liquidity zone anymore. Now let's keep going. Okay, so here we are here now. This is H4 demand. This H, if you go down to the H1, there is H1 supply here. So this is an H4 demand zone. It's a very clear H4 demand zone. You have a rally, you have a base, and you have a rally, right? You have one big bullish candle, pushing up from that area. Price hasn't come here yet, so it's a fresh zone. Plus, now we got to see, has it taken out an opposing zone, an opposing supply zone, right? That's how you determine, that's how I determine if it's a high liquidity zone or not. It has to be fresh, and it has to have taken out an opposing zone. Okay, it has to be fresh, and it has to have taken out an opposing zone. So it's not clear on the, even though this is clear on the H4, on the H1 it's not clear if you have supply here or not. So we're going to go down to the, I'm sorry, on H4 it's not clear. So we're going to go down to the H1 and see if if we have a zone there. Yes, we do. We do have a zone here, which was um, a supply zone, a rally, a base, and a drop. And this zone took that out. So this is a high liquidity zone, right? And then the same goes for this. We have a, we have a demand zone there, right? We have a demand zone here. We had done this on Friday as well, the same exercise. On Friday, we had the same zone. We have a demand zone there, very clear, a rally, two basing candles, and two same color candles pushing out of it, which is good to see. Two same color candles pushing out, and price hasn't come here yet, so it's a fresh zone. So that's one reason for it being a high liquidity zone. And then, if you look here to the left, we see H4 supply here. Rally and a drop. It's also H4 resistance and H4 supply. If you go down to the H1, it'll be clear. You will see that there is a zone there. All right, so that is the zone. A rally, a base, and a drop. And this move took that out, that high out, took that high out, took out that supply, took out that high, took out that high, and pushed up. Okay, so this also is a high liquidity zone. Um, so now we wait at these areas, see what happens to price. Now, it could be a slow day today because it's the first day of the week, and yeah, it's the first day of the week, and there is news in about an hour and a half from now. A little, not too important news. So it could be slow for the first hour or so. It could be slow during the New York Open. We might get some volume around the NYSE Open, right? That is about an hour 15 minutes from now. Um, So this is in between where I'm going to do nothing here. And I just want to see there what this looks like on the 1 minute. Yeah, no flat bottom. Price could come down there. Yeah. Hmm. This was London session. Push up. Just want to mark this area. 678 392. 392. Yeah. So this was the open of the candle, of the 15-minute candle during the London session. After this, after this 15-minute candle rejected the area, it didn't come down, didn't touch the EMA. As you can see that the EMA is right there. It fell short by a couple of pips from the EMA, and this was the open of the candle, and we couldn't get here. Um, and we have a flat bottom there. Price should come below that. Price should come below that. And either we get a reaction here or we just go straight down. I think we're going to push straight down here, right? But we are going to come below that. So we are about, so price is right now about 70 pips away. We're going to come below that. And then we're going to probably very likely push straight through. Now, that is what I anticipate would happen. But before that happens, I'd like to see if price can come up here to give us an entry before going down. Or if it doesn't do that, then it comes down here and we get some sort of a reaction here. Now this, keep in mind, this is Friday's zone that we did trade. We traded this already. We took this trade from this candle here. We took it and we rode it, I think about 130, 140 pips. I don't know. Can't remember. On Friday, we took this trade with about a 15 pip stop loss, and we rode it all the way up there. Yeah, we rode it. Then price pulled back and then went straight through for the rest of the session and the rest of the day. An Asian session opened here. Was the Asian, yeah, Asian. This was the market open. This was the Asian low, and price pushed up. That's the Asian high. That's the London high. So that's the Asian low. Price pushed up. London high tested the Asian high, came down, tested the Asian low, And now it's deciding what to do. If you're going to break below that's the London low, and that's the London high. We're going to break below the London low and come down, uh, or we're going to retest this area and continue up. We got to wait. We got to wait and see. Price needs to come into our area of interest, somewhere here, somewhere here. This area I don't want to take a trade because only because this candle broke right through it. And this demand zone, H1 demand zone, did not take out anything to the left. If this demand zone took out this high here, if price pushed up and took out this high, then I would be interested in this area. But I'm not interested in this area. Just marked it as H4 demand because it looks like H4 demand. If it looks like demand, then it is demand. So I do mark it as demand, but I'm not looking to take a trade from that area. I'm not looking to trade here. I'm not looking to take any buys here. I'm looking to buy here and I'm looking to sell here. That's it. Sell here, buy here. If price comes to my areas and I don't get a setup, so be it. If price comes here and pushes up, goes all the way up 100, 200 pips, so be it. I'm not going to take that trade. I'm going to only wait at the levels that I've marked to see if price gets there. Now, this area here, price already tested it once. The H4 it didn't. On the H1 it did. It's H4 demand, tested it once, went, respected this. Yeah, this is the 16, this is 1700 candle open. Yeah, that's the candle open. Yeah, I'll wait there. There, that's too far away. Price may not make that move down. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe at least in the next 2 hours, 2.5 hours until I'm here, I don't think we might drop 325 pips to get a trade here. But I will pay attention to this and I will pay attention here. This candle is interesting. This candle here is interesting. Let's have a closer look at that candle. 30 minutes, 5 minutes. Yeah, that candle is interesting. Let's look at the 1 minute. Yeah, we had a rejection there. Flat top, retested, rejection, push down, continue, liquidity wick, push down. Yeah, so this area right here is interesting. From the top of that candle to the open of this candle that created this wick, right? So if you go down to the M5, that's that candle. If you go down to the M15, that's that candle, okay? So what I'm going to do is just mark that candle. Yeah, so if it comes to the mid level here, we've got a 15 pip stop loss. If it comes here, I think we've got about a 7, 8 pip stop loss. I'll be interested if price comes up here to this candle here. Because we didn't come, we just candle closed, the next one opened right here, continued to push down. And we pushed down, what, 160 pips straight down. We couldn't come back to this area, right? To the mid of the fib, we couldn't come back to this area. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. 138,871. 138. Okay, right. So we're gonna keep an eye here. Um, so if you don't, like for example, if you don't have the time to sit at the charts until price gets here, you can always put an alert somewhere there. Okay, just add an alert on your chart, right? For when price gets to this area, if you're trading on C Trader or MetaTrader 5 or MetaTrader 4, there are ways to have an alert there at those price levels. Or if you're using TradingView, you can put an alert on TradingView when price gets there, so that way you get pinned when price gets to this area above 2628, above 2628. That's the kind of area that you want to put an alert at, around 2628. Once price gets to 2628, you're going to get a pin, and then you can come and look at the chart and see what sort of price action plays out on the smaller time frames, on the M15 time frame, to see if you get a trading opportunity. Okay, um, that's possible if you don't have the time to sit at the charts for the next 2 hours. Then that's something that you can do. Um, yeah. And here, that liquidity wick grabbed here. So I'm not going to draw anything here. I'm going to just wait to see if price gets there and what price does. If it does create a new liquidity, if it decides to grab liquidity, it will create a wick like this. If price decides to grab liquidity from from a zone that I have marked, right? I've marked these zones. If price decides to grab liquidity from a key area of interest, an area of interest, right? High liquidity zones are areas of interest for me, right? Those what I've marked. So if price decides to grab liquidity from those areas, then it will create a liquidity wick like this. Once it creates it, then I'll see, because we came to this wick. Price already came here deep into this wick, grabbed liquidity from that wick, and we went all the way up, right? So that move was 270 pip move all the way up. So now I'm not going to do anything there. I'm going to watch to see what price does when it gets there. Now again, you can see when price came to this green area, we had a liquidity wick, right? So we don't know if price is grabbing liquidity here to continue up, or this is just to test this area and then create a top wick and continue down. Because this is the this is the new 30-minute candle open. Let's go to the 30-minute chart. Yeah. So we've closed almost an engulfing candle, right? So this is very possibly creating a top wick to continue down. Okay. Um, so let's see how this 15-minute candle closes or 30-minute candle closes, but we want price to come up here to take a trade. Price needs to come up here. And yeah, that is a liquidity grab though. That is interesting. This is a liquidity wick from this zone. The problem is on the M15, Just want to see that wick, what that wick looks like. No, there is no wick on the M15. There is no wick on the M30. There is no wick on the H1. There is no wick on the M30. So this little bit here, maybe come down there, and then so on the H1, it's hardly anything. M30, there is just a little bit of 15 pip liquidity grab there, and then we go on to the M15. There is nothing. We go on to the M5 here, here, there, right there. 13 pips. We did trade between these two. That's a fast EMA, there's a slow EMA. Price did come in between that, right to the tip, and it is moving up. Hmm. There is a wick there. I am gonna mark this candle here. I'm gonna mark this candle. 678392. 392. I'm gonna mark that candle. Okay. I just want to see what price does when it gets there to this candle. Very likely we break right through, but I'm going to mark it. I'm going to watch that area. Just want to see how price reacts when we get there. Okay, I'm not going to take a trade there yet. I'm not planning to take a trade there, but I want to see how price gets to this area, this below 2615. What it does, because we did reject it once. Um, we did reject it once, so we're going to just watch that area. We're not going to take a trade there, but we're going to just watch. It's an interesting area just to pay attention to. But these are areas of interest. This is my area of interest, up here and down here. Okay, so for today, these are my two areas of interest, the one here and the one here. Right, got about 8 minutes for the candle to close. I'll be back in a bit. It's quite slow. Price is moving quite slowly. We might need to wait till NYSE open to have some volume. Yeah, another 45 minutes. Um, yeah, NY open has not done anything much. We just had a NY opened and price pushed down about 50 pips from the top here, or from here about 40 pips from this open of this candle. Um, let's see. 15-minute time frame created support here. Right at these support levels, we created support again. Price could continue to push up. There's support here on the 15-minute time frame. There is support on the M30 time frame. We have support on the M30 time frame here, right? So support right there on the M30, M15 support as well. We created support again. And now if we close above this resistance right here, if an M15 candle closes above this resistance, if we close above this resistance, then we could continue to push up, right? And then we're coming close to our area of interest to see if we can get a trading opportunity. But price 15-minute candle has to close above this. Now to close above this, it might need to create a bottom wick, grab some liquidity, and then then close above. Either this candle or the next candle comes down, grabs liquidity, and then closes above. But an M15 candle has to close above this for price to continue. That's M15 and M30 support, and that's M30 and M15 resistance. So price is right now in that range. It has to close above to go higher. Once it gets here, we'll see if we have an opportunity to sell. But I'm not doing anything inside this 82 pip range, or this 120 pip range, 130 pip range. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything inside this range. Price needs to come to my extremes. So if it comes here, I'll look for an opportunity. If it comes down here, I want to see how the M15 candles close before I decide to take an opportunity, before I decide to take a trade. I don't think price is going to react. I don't think price is going to reverse here. I think if price gets down here, we're going to push straight through. We're going to push straight through, push down, all the way down here. I don't think price is going to pause here. I don't know. That's why I want to see what happens on the M15. I want to see if price, how M15 candles close once they get here to this area. But right now we're pushing up. We rejected this area. This was a liquidity wick. It's clearer on the, I think on the M15. Yeah, on the M15 it's clearer. We have a liquidity wick here. Grab liquidity from this area because price is pushing up. This was an area of interest in the London session. For me, not now, but in the London session, it was an area of interest. If I was trading London, I would have taken a trade here. I'll explain why. Because we did take out a zone to the right. This zone did take out this zone on the left. There was a zone here on the left that we took out. So this was an area of interest. So price did come back there, tapped it, and now we're pushing up. So price needs to get up here to see if we have a trade or not. Yeah, so we have broke one high. No, did not come down. Pushing trade up. So five and a half minutes for this M15 candle to close. Let's see if we close here. Um, we might react to this 2626 level here before we continue up. We might have a reaction here. Not, yeah, might. We might. Gotta see how the M15 candles close. If we close above, then we should continue up higher. Okay, 5 minutes more for the candle to close. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Okay. We are pushing up. A minute bit more for the 1 hour candle to close. So this candle is going to close bullish candle. Very likely it's going to close a bullish candle. The H4 candle is still open. The previous H4 candle has no top wick, so very possible the price goes above that to grab liquidity. Very possible price goes above that to grab liquidity, right? We are pushing up now. Just 15 seconds more for this candle to close. Yeah, we're almost there, and so that's the H4 candle open. Very possible the price goes above this, right? So we gotta just wait. I'm interested in this area, but I gotta wait for price to come above here and then look for a setup. H1 candle close strong bullish, M30 candle close bullish with a wick to fill. So this is a range to fill, so it doesn't need to create much of a bottom wick because we do have a top wick, so it could probably come down here and then continue up because we have a range to fill there. M15 candle, same range to fill. Yeah, a 10-11 pip range to fill, so it's very likely going to get filled and continue higher. We've closed above these resistance, so let's get rid of all of that. It's closed above M15, closed above that, M30 closed above that resistance, and above M15 and M30 resistance. Coming down should create a bottom wick and continue higher. Yeah, that's probably the bottom wick. Possibly the bottom wick. That's a liquidity grab. That candle there came to that candle, to the mid of that candle, that M1 candle. Yeah, that candle there, that's a liquidity grab, right? That candle is different from all the other previous candles prior to it, and it happens at a key area, 2626. I mentioned this earlier. At 2626 we should get a reaction, and we did. So price stopped there, came down further down, grabbed liquidity. This price came to the mid of this candle. We should maybe come a little lower, or from here onwards just push up. This is the 1 hour candle open, so price might range for a few minutes. 5, 10, 15 minutes might range and then continue to go up. So been here for an hour, 15 minutes, nothing. 30 minutes for NYSE open. In 15 minutes we've got news, right? No, 45 minutes we got news. Sorry. In 45 minutes we got news. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that was the bottom wick of that candle for the price to move up right at 2626. So I said price will probably react to 2626. So we pushed up, came down, reacted. So it's very clear on the M1. Price stopped at 2626, pushed down. This was the reaction. Um, 16. Yeah. Yeah. We stopped here, pushed back, reacted at 2626, and now we're pushing up. Okay. Now we gotta pay attention. So 13, 13, 17. Okay. 38. Okay. Okay, so that's that candle there. So I'm interested in that candle. Okay. Um, and price above this high, 2630.18. So I want to see if price can get above this, right? To look for an opportunity in between wherever that candle stops, the M15 candle stops above this, and then between that red line. That would be my stop loss, but I've got to see how the M15 candle, once the M15 candle gets above 2630, once M15 candle gets above 2630, I want to see where it stops. All right, it's got to stop somewhere. So sorry, depending on where the candle closes above 2630, where price, how deep it goes into, I want to have a look there and then maybe take a trade. And if it closes, somewhere here with a wick, then I'd look to take a trade on the next candle with a stop loss there, right? So we're looking at about 11 to 15 pip stop loss, anywhere above here or above here, about a 7 pip, 9 pip stop loss if price gets there, right? 7 to 9 pips if price gets there, 11 to 15 pips if price gets above here, right? That's a kind of stop loss, but the candle's got to close. I got to wait for the candle to close once it gets here. Got to wait for the candle to close. Three and a half minutes for this candle to close. And this is this is the New York open push. Okay. So this is the New York open push. So it's very important to identify uh, the move for each opening, right? I hope that's clear. So the move for the New York Open is this, 90 pips. Now we don't know how far further up it's going to go. If it's going to go right through this, we don't know. We got to wait. Then we've got the NYSE, right? So this is the New York. Now we're getting close to the NYSE Open, which is about 15 minutes from now. So now we want to see if that is going to, NYSE is going to range or it's going to push down, right? So we have what the information we do have now, that this is the New York Open push. Price pushing up 90 pips, maybe higher, right? Maybe higher. Now after that, we got to anticipate the NYSE push, and that is the volume that we're looking to capitalize on. If we get a move down, if you get a trade going down, that's the volume that we want, the NYSE volume to push price down. Yeah, that candle had no top wick, but it reacted right at the EMA and a green box, a green rectangle, H4 demand zone reacted right to it and the EMA, and then pushed up 70 pips, 75 pips. Could go higher. Okay, a minute for this candle to close. We are getting a reaction at 262850, 262870. That's a reaction there, 262870. Price did come down 11, 12 pips. Let's see what happens. It should close above 262850. M15 candle should close above. Yeah. If you close above, we should continue higher. We are getting very close to that area, to the H4 high. And we have 45 minutes for this H4 candle to close. We should go above that high. We should go above that high. But I don't know. The New York volume just continues higher, and NYSE just ranges a bit, pulls back a bit, and then we just continue higher. That's very possible too. If this candle closes above here, this H4 candle closes above here, then this area becomes demand. That becomes a demand zone, 73 pip zone, and it also becomes a high liquidity zone because it takes out this high here. So we got to wait another 45 minutes to see how this candle closes. But right now we are at our area of interest. We're right there. We got to wait for this 15-minute candle to close. Because this 15-minute candle has already broken this high. If it didn't break the high, then maybe we would have drawn the fib here on this candle and waited. But now we've already, in the first minute, so this opened at 16:15. Yeah, so it broke the high in the first minute, right? So in the first 2 to 3 minutes, if the high or low gets broken, then you got to wait for the candle to close. So you got to wait for this candle to close now. Got to wait 14 minutes for this candle to close. Trading is a waiting game. Is a waiting game to get. Depends on your trade plan, what trades you're looking to take. So price came, couldn't get to the mid of this candle. The mid of that candle is 230, 2630, and it couldn't get to 2630.09. It just fell there. But we should push up. Let's look at the M5. Yeah, we could push up higher. We're having a reaction at 2628. 70. I said this before. Price did react here to 2626, now 2628.70. So there, tried to push up close, but push down from here. Let's see if he can go up and close above and go higher. Five-minute candle close above this minor resistance. We go higher. If it struggles to close and doesn't close, then price could push down here. And then on the left, it's clean space to the left, and price could push down all the way down there again. If we can't close above this M5 resistance. Okay, so we closed above that area. We're going to continue up now. 5 minutes more for this M15 candle to close. Let's see where it closes. Okay, price is getting to our area. We got to wait for this M15 candle to close. We touched that area, 2630.18. We touched it. That was the H4 high. We touched it. Yeah, we touched it. We should go above it. Also, 3 minutes more for NYC open. It's got to wait for the 50-minute candle to close here. Just 3 minutes more. Right, so 1 minute rejection from 2630.18. But I gotta wait for the 50-minute candle to close. Gotta wait for this 50-minute candle to close. So this high 067745 67. Okay, so we came to our area. We have rejection there. That's the midpoint. 16, 27. Okay, so that's a 15-minute candle close. Now, Oh. It's just price just slipped. It's just slipped. I'm gonna manage risk on that trade that I opened. This price just, my entry slipped. Supposed to open it here, and it slipped almost 10 pips. So yeah, I was gonna open it here. It just slipped. Um, this is the NYSE open. I'm gonna manage risk on this trade. If you break above here, to break its own high, I'm gonna close 25% of the trade. So yeah, that high is 29.80. $29.80. If the M15 candle comes back and breaks its own high, I'm going to close 25% of the trade because I wanted to open the trade right up here and I slipped by a good 10 pips, 10, 11 pips. Price just, this 1 minute candle pushed down. I tried to open it at this candle and it opened down here instead of here. We are pushing down though. Wanted to get an entry up here, 2 entries up here. We are pushing down. Stop loss goes above there. Yeah, that's fine. But as soon as you come up here, I'm going to manage risk. Either 25% or 50% of my trade I'm going to close here. If price comes back and breaks its own high, because we've broken this M15 candle, and the reason for that is this. This M15 candle has broken this low. There is no reason for this M15 candle to come back and break its own high. If it does break its own high, it's very likely going to break this M15 candle high. And I don't want to be holding drawdown from here all the way up here, 23 pips. So at 14 pips, I'm going to manage risk. I'm going to close 50% of my trade at 14 pips. Because this trade should have opened here and just got slipped and it opened about 10 pips below. Yeah, if it opened in the right place, then we would have closed partials already because we did come down to 20 pips. This price moved 23 pips if I had opened it there. We are pushing down though, 16, 17. We have some resistance here, M5 resistance here. So price is probably going to come down to that resistance. And that resistance is, yeah, 22. We should come down there. should come down there. It should create a top wick and come down. Um, if you go all the way up here, I'll open another entry. I'll manage risk on this, but I'll open another entry here. It's a 18 pip candle, 17 pip candle, that 1 minute candle that I got slipped on. In a couple of seconds, it just pushed straight through. Okay, we are coming back up. Um, it's 19 pips, man. Just okay. So I managed risk on this trade. As soon as we got up there, I closed 25% of that trade, and I opened another position right there. Okay. So I managed risk on this trade when we got to the high the when price touched its own high. I managed risk and I opened another position right at the top there. And if we break this high, I'm going to close the first position that was open. If price breaks this high, I'm going to close this position entirely. Because that's ideally where I should have opened the trade. Exactly there. And I opened it here. Almost 15 pips late. That should have been the spot. right at that sniper entry would have been the spot. And if I did open it there, price came up about 30 pips down. Okay, now we're gonna manage risk soon as we go up. Soon as we push up, I'm gonna manage risk. Close this first position entirely. Yep, close that one entirely, and that's a sniper. So oh, okay, so price did break the high there and continue higher. It broke above this. Yeah, so that a 0.5% loss on that trade. It could have been much larger if I had held the position, and that's the reason why it's so important to manage risk. So I closed 50% of my position when we got there to that M15 high, and then I opened a position deeper in, but then that got stopped out. Stop loss was there, 263,178. Now we got to now price is pushing above this. Um, got 2 minutes for news, so we got to wait. We got to can't do anything. We got to wait. Price came above that, broke above this high, this candle high. This was the candle that we were paying attention, that I was paying attention to. This candle, it first reacted to it, dropped 40 pips, but then went up and yeah, this is the NYST volume. So price could just continue to push up now. And now we've broken above this high. So yeah, so now this area becomes a high liquidity zone. This area right here becomes a high liquidity zone. We got to wait for the 4-hour candle to close, which is in 15 minutes from now. Once the candle closes, we can redraw um, the demand zone right here, and then just wait to see if price pulls back to our demand zone to get another trade. But if price just continues up 100 pips, because we've got news now in a minute, then so be it. Then there's no trade today. Then we take this loss and we call it a day. 0.5% loss, and we call it a day. 0.59% loss. Yeah, and call it a day. Yeah, we broke right through as expected. Gotta wait for this 4-hour candle to close. Gotta wait for the 4-hour candle to close. If this is a liquidity grab above this high and to continue down, you gotta wait for this 4 15-minute candle to close. See if you have an opportunity there. On the 4 hours, we still don't have, this is the only structure that we have. A rally, two basin candles and a rally. And the next candle broke below it, but respected that zone and closed above it. Price comes up, grabs liquidity from above this H4 candle. And now we got to see where this H4 candle closes. 13 minutes for the candle to close. If it closes below here, then we're pushing down from this high liquidity zone. We're pushing down. If it closes somewhere here. If it closes somewhere here, then we're pushing up and we're going to continue up. Got to wait. So 13 minutes for this 15-minute candle to close, and that's also the close of the 4-hour candle. So you got to wait for this candle to close. And let's see where this candle closes. If the candle closes like this, then maybe we can take a trade from here to go down, give our trade another opportunity. So that's right now it's about a 30 pip stop loss, but maybe it's going to push down further. Yeah, that's liquidity. That is liquidity. That's liquidity. Six, 8, 1, 2, 3, 2, 8. 1, 23. 228, 681. I'm gonna give my trade a second chance here. Yeah. Stop above here. Oops. Okay. That's it. 3 small positions opened. Now we manage risk. If price comes up here, 19 pips, stop loss is 19 pips, then we manage risk. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Price is pushing up, so no. Okay, that's it. 1% for the day. Exactly 1% for the day. This 4-hour candle is very likely going to close above here. I wanted to see if this was going to grab liquidity and come down, but we are pushing up. So it's just grabbing liquidity to go up. So we are going to push up. We're going to very likely close above here, making this a demand zone. So price is going to continue to push higher, maybe to 2650. Once the 4-hour candle closes, if price pulls back for a liquidity grab here, that'd be great. That'd be a good area to look for a buy trade. But now the sells are out of the question. We've broken above the supply zone. We've broken above the supply zone. So sells are out of the question because the M15 candle, it closes in 7 minutes and it's closing above it. The M5 candle is closing in a couple of minutes. That's also should close above it. So sells are out of the question. We have to wait. Wait to see where this M15 candle closes, and then if price pulls back. This candle here, I was expecting a reaction of this 55 pip candle. This was a 55 pip 1 minute candle that grabbed liquidity. So I was anticipating a push down at least from about there down there, and it didn't happen. Now we're just pushing up, we're just ranging right now for the 4-hour candle close. This is just ranging, and then we're gonna continue up. Yeah, we're just pushing up. We're pushing up maybe all the way up here, 160 pips. Very possible. I said this at the beginning of the stream. 2650 insights could happen today or could happen tomorrow. But 2650 is insights. Is in sight. 2650. We closed above 2600 last week. The weekly candle and the daily candle both closed above 2600. So 2650 is our next stop. So that's very likely. If you don't get a pull back here, then we might just continue up 150 pips. Four minutes, 4.5 minutes more for this candle to close. So we're gonna probably that's gonna be the zone. That's gonna be my zone there. Drop and a rally. There's no base in candle, so we'll have to go down to the H1 and find a base, which is that base took out that, right? So down here, There is a zone up here as well. I'll go down, refine it on 30 minute. And on 30 minute, yeah, I don't know. It's very unlikely price is going to drop down another 150 pips to continue up. We've broken above this. We may have a minor pullback. Um, Rally, base rally, but did already touched it and then went and broke up. So this candle, 15, 15, 15, 15. This was that candle. This 15. Yeah, this was the wick. This was the wick that caused the move up. So try to identify that wick on the lower time frames is basically on the M30. It's that zone that broke that. On the M15, it's that wick. That's the candle. On the M5, there is nothing. And on the M1, there is nothing. There is nothing on the M5 or the M1. No liquidity wick. That's a liquidity wick. Grab the liquidity from the EMA. That red line that you see is the fast moving average EMA. That's a liquidity wick. But here there is nothing on the M1. On the M5, also there is nothing. On the M15, there is that. So probably that candle, I'm gonna redraw this here. The open 164, 164, and this low is 392. Okay, so that's the new H4 demand, right? Because candle is about to close in 30 seconds, and it's closing above that. So that becomes demand. So you have first you had a rally, two basin candles and a rally, wicked into it, went up. So we have a drop here now, and then a rally. And if you go down to the H1, these become your basin candles. So drop, three basin candles, and then the rally out, right? So we delete this. That is the new H4 demand. And it becomes a high liquidity zone because it took out this. This zone, this drop, base, rally, took out that on the left. So that becomes a high liquidity zone now. The H4 candle is just closed. As we predicted, it closed above this. So we don't need that anymore. Let's just leave it for now. But um, that's gone. Just leave that for now. Now we want to see if price pulls back into this area, 90, 100 pips before we continue up. Uh, to this candle specifically, this high 363010, 363010. Okay. Yeah. If price pulls back into this area, That's a liquidity wick on the M15, but there's nothing on the M1 or M5. Gotta just keep that in mind. But if price pulls back into this area, then there's an opportunity to go up. We've created a new high in the New York session. So this was the New York Open, came down, then we made a new high. And now what we want to see is price pull back, create support, and then go back and retest the high, right? So in the now it's just the four candle is just open. So for the next 30 minutes to 45 minutes, price might just range a bit, right? So might not have anything to do. Um, been here for 2 hours, 15 minutes. Okay, I'll stay for another 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. If price does not come down in the next 45 minutes, then I'm gonna end. Then I'm not going to be looking for a trade. That's the end of the session, end of the stream, end of the session, end of my trading day. The next 30 to 45 minutes, if price does not come back down here, at least to this, to 2623, which is about 100 pips away, then that's it. That's the end of the trading day. Okay. Um, yeah, the H1 closed above this, H4 closed above it, M30 closed above it. Yeah, we can get rid of that. We don't need that. We don't need that. Mm, mm, mm. Gonna open a trade here because it's a very big stop loss, but this high is 429,608. 29. Yeah. 25. Okay. 29, 39, 69. Okay. This candle didn't break this high. This candle pushed down on the 5-minute and on the 1-minute, and we rejected. So this was 17, yeah. This candle opened at 17, the 4-hour candle opened, and this was that rejection of the 4-hour of that candle. So let's see if we can come down here, at least here, 40 pips down. We can come down. I want to see where this M5 candle is going to close. Because I want this wick, anticipating this wick to get filled. 21, 2. Anticipating this wick to get filled. Should come down to fill this wick and then come down here. The H4 candle needs liquidity to carry on up. Liquidity is around there. We are pushing up. Price is pushing up. It's high 351. 2626. Two six two seven. We are ranging. It's the 4 candles opened about 15 minutes back, so we are ranging right now. That's expected. Price to range, but I'm anticipating price to come down to this wick, at least to this wick here, which is about 26, 25, 26 pips from now, from here, to come to this wick. We've got to close below this support, M5 support, this minor area here. Price has to close below this. Price has to close below this. If we don't close below, then we're pushing up. And if we continue to push up, I'm going to manage risk here. But I'm anticipating price to close below this. Pips away. We are reacting to that support though. That price is reacting to that support and pushing up. Just might need to manage risk here. Pushing higher. We're pushing higher. Yeah, pushing higher from that M5. Resistance turns support. Price is pushing higher. It has to close. If it doesn't close below this, then we're just gonna continue to push high above this high here. We're gonna just continue up. My anticipation is that the H4 candle pulls back to grab liquidity to go up. That's the reason I took these sells here. But it has to close below this M5 resistance turn support. You can see the wicks touching it and rejecting that area because that's an important area. That area falls right inside the previous H4 supply, right in the middle of it. So price is reacting to it and is trying to push up. I'll just close the doji there. Um, an M5 candle has to close below this resistance turn support to continue down to this wick here and lower. If it doesn't, we're not going down, we're going up. It has to close below this. There's clear M5 resistance there that has turned support. The price is reacting to it. So that's M5 resistance turn support. If you look on the M15 time frame, it's not very visible, but there are rejections there. But if you go on the M5, it's very clear, and price is pushing up from that resistance, clearly pushing up from that resistance. So we need a candle to close below it. I need a candle to close below it. No, struggling, pushing higher, ranging. First 30 to 45 minutes of the of the 4-hour candle open, new 4-hour candle open. Price usually ranges, and that's what's happening here. We're ranging right now. Might range for another 10, 15 minutes. So either this 5-minute candle or the next 5-minute candle needs to close below this. If it doesn't, we are pushing up. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to close my trades. I'm going to close all of these. If 2 minutes more for this candle to close. Yeah, we're just pushing up. It's nothing. It's just ranging between that high and this support. Resistance up there, and this support price is just ranging. A minute for the candle to close. We have, that's the next M5 resistance right there. And we have created a new one here, but that's a part of this. So yeah, we're gonna take a loss here. Closed above. Let's see if we push down further. If we go higher. Okay. Yeah. So that's it. That's it for the day. Price did not come down. Did not come down here. So we're going to leave it as that. We got a 2.4% loss, 2.47% loss today. That's a little more than what I had anticipated to lose, but that's okay. Um, kept it down to 2.47. We're going to leave it like that. I'm not going to try to take any more trades. I'm done. I was anticipating this H4 candle to this new open to push price down back to this area before it moves up again. That was the reason for this trade, because we were still reacting to the this area, right? We were still reacting to this area. Price is reacting here. So we got a clean push down on the M5. We got a rejection wick on the M1. So I was anticipating price to drop down at least to that wick, and then maybe further down into to this wick, to this area right here. But it didn't do that. Just continued up. There's a lot of bullish volume. So we're not going to try to take any sells here. If we do get, if price tomorrow, if price does come down to this area, be great. I'll be looking to, like, take a trade if it happens with the New York session. If it doesn't, then, and it happens early on in the Asian or the London session, then so be it. But this would be the next area to take a trade from, this area, this high liquidity zone, because this zone now, this H4 zone broke this H4 supply that we had drawn earlier on the left. It closed above it and it's continuing. So this is the area of interest now, right? So we tried a couple of times here, didn't work. That's it, leave it. Um, just take the loss and come back tomorrow. Do the same thing, do the same analysis and draw. Wait for the setup to form. Right? That's about it. That's the okay. That's the end of the session. I I doubt it. I hugely doubt price. If it had to come down, this was the candle for it to come down on. This 30-minute candle. If price should have respected this high, M15 candle should have respected this high and continued down. If it were to come down, it didn't. Which means now we're just pushing up, and we could push up all the way up there. All right. All right, guys. See you guys tomorrow. See ya. Bye.